All right, what's happening, everybody? It's that time once again for another episode of the Domestic Athlete Podcast with me, Anthony T, right here with you guys every week. And we're going to start the New Year's off with a new host alongside me. It is my cousin Blondie of the BL Marketing Agency. So I'm going to introduce you guys to her today. We did a podcast episode earlier this morning. I pieced it together for everyone. So enjoy the rest of the podcast today.
Good, sounds good.
So what are you listening to or watching right now?
Ooh, let's see. So when it comes to these podcasts, I'm like a mixture. So I do like a little entertainment, keeping me up to date with what's going on. So I listen to, can I name the actual podcast? That's cool with you or what?
That's cool with me. I ain't true.
Okay, I know if it's just like, no, don't talk about them people, don't get them no,
Nah, not tripping at all.
That's how we was recording, so you know what I'm saying. Oh no, we live. No, I listen to Here's the Thing with Kev on Stage and that chick Angel. And then I also listen to The Read. So they keep me up to date on whatever's going on in pop culture and stuff. Then I like to listen to, sometimes when I'm feeling real ratchet, I listen to the 85 South Show. And then lately, though, what I've been listening to is the Social Proof podcast and following people from there and Earn Your Leisure. So similar to you, like the business stuff, that's more so been catching my eye.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some similarities then. So that should help conversation a lot because I do listen to Here's the Thing.
Okay.
What was the other one you said? Earn Your Leisure.
Mm-hmm.
And you said one more too.
Social Proof podcast with David Shane.
You know what? I love and hate that podcast.
Which one do you hate? Because you know he interviews people and then it's David and Donnie. I mostly listen to David and Donnie.
It's not them, it's the guest. Sometimes they'll have a guest and I'm like,
Let me tell you, I ain't trying to be shady, but I'm gonna be a little shady, okay? The one with the vending machine guy that I listened to, I was like, so you just found him? Because it don't seem like he know
exactly
what he's doing because he's doing it, but he just started teaching people how to do this, and you can tell. Versus the ones who's like, it was this one business coach, and she like when high level entrepreneurs, like she was coaching them. Her name was Coach Kelly. She was great. She's been doing this for decades or something like that. Like she had it together, and then she had this like soothing Southern Martha Stewart voice because she was just so, well, no, not Martha Stewart. She was just so like country. It was just so cute. That made sense. But with him, it was a lot of like, he didn't know what was happening. So I'm like, okay, we ain't gonna finish this podcast because I'm not learning anything here.
And a lot of them, sometimes, even like on Earn Your Leisure, I'll be like, that sounds like a scammer to me, but okay, it's a business. As long as you're making money.
This white collar crime we getting.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then I wrote down a few topics as well. All right. So,
okay.
So let me just go ahead and introduce the podcast real quick. Welcome back to the Domestic Athlete Podcast with your host, Anthony T. and
Blondie. I guess I can say Blondie Lockhart. I don't know. I didn't know what you were going to announce yourself as. I was like, do I say my last name?
No, we just improvising it right now. We good.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you can have it different every time. Whatever you want. It's your name. I just give a little pause, let you say your thing, and then I'll move on to the next.
All right.
And this is the podcast that will help you lose your next 10 pounds as well as keep you motivated. All right. So, my big thing right now is distractions in business. And what I've learned is a lot of times it's not even a distraction that you normally think of, right? Like binge watching television or something.
Mm-hmm.
Your body can become a distraction. Have you ever dealt with something like that?
Yes, but in a different way. Because you see your left hand right there.
What's that?
Yeah, because mine is empty.
So
my body became a distraction in that way to be like, I want to cuddle. It's cold. I want to cuddle. I want to be out here and date and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't think that was going to be a distraction until I was like, yeah. But also, when you say like your body being a distraction, is it kind of like with you eating, your certain eating habits?
So yeah, that could be a distraction for sure, right?
Yes.
I was actually going into, for me recently, it's been anxiety and asthma. So like, I'm gonna start with the anxiety part. So I've always had anxiety for a while. Like, I know for me, it really comes down to sometimes I want to be on and talk, and sometimes I just don't want anybody to fuck with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when I'm in that mode and people want to talk to me or converse or have an opinion or whatever, I get real tense, and it's like I can't move forward. And I notice it coming into play recently because since COVID, I haven't had the opportunity to coach at my gym. The gym closed, and now they're gone completely. And I could have always, thrown some outdoor classes and things like that, but I've got huge anxiety about doing it. Like, I'm used to working out and pushing myself, and it took me a while to turn on the camera and record myself. That was a piece of anxiety right there. Like, I don't want to, record myself. What am I gonna look like? What's somebody gonna say? I don't want to see no dumb comments.
Right.
And it just, in the back of my head, I'm also telling myself, well, you the one that's fucking up then. Like, just go do it. Like, it's not as bad as it's not that bad. But it's just something that's holding me back. And what really got me on this subject today was yesterday I had to go to the hospital because I had an asthma attack. I've had an asthma attack for like the last 3 days.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to push through it because that's just who I am. I'm not gonna go to the doctor. If I'm hurt, I push through the pain. It's just who I am.
Black man.
Yeah. But yesterday it got to a point where it was like, okay, I ran out of my inhaler pump, so now I gotta actually do something.
Am I gonna die? What am I gonna do? Yeah.
So when my heart rate goes up, I can't breathe anymore, and I'm like, I can't work out. Like, if I wanted to teach a class, I couldn't do it. And that made me think about all the time I wasted from my anxiety of just allowing that whatever voice in my head that's holding me back to just stop me.
That whole thing about hindsight being 2020, when it kicks in, you just like, I could have been doing this. And then to make it even worse, when you see someone who maybe started the same time you did, and of course they pushed through that voice in their head and they kept going, and you're just like, not in a comparison way, but it's more like a kicking yourself way. So let's say if you saw somebody who started the fitness journey around the same time you did, or training journey, should I say, and then you see them and you're just like, if I had stuck to this, because that's how I am with me creating content on YouTube. I was listening to, so Kev on Stage has a new podcast called Coming to the Stage. I realized I started YouTube the same time as Jackie Aina.
Yeah, I remember you had an interview with Zanique. I remember that. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you doing it out here, YouTube, like.
And when she said in the podcast that she was 34, so I was like, oh, so you really didn't have no excuse. Oh, okay, all right. And not to say that my career would have went in the same direction as hers, but I'll never know because I kept stopping. And even though, and she said in there that she had a moment where she took breaks and she was trying to figure out what she was doing, but just for me, the anxiety of being consistent. So it's just getting burnt out, trying to do so much and then getting burnt out and just being like, you know what I should do? Quit. I should just stop this. Like, and it's like, no, that I realize now, part of that, like you said, going back to your body stopping you, I realize I have a fear of success. A lot of people have a fear of failure, but I've had a fear of success and just being like, you know what, good enough is fine.
What makes
I don't
you
have
say
to be
that?
great. I don't have to be amazing. I don't have to be number one. Pass. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I Pass. Good enough. And it was like, well, if you actually try, if I actually try, it might be hard. If I actually try and I get good at this, like, So now I'm like working on my mindset and changing how I view different things and what success can actually look like. Yes, it might be hard, but like, it's not gonna fall out the sky. And then it goes the same with like working out. Your dream body or your dream, where they, what is it? I think they call it, like some of the women call it like working out for the dress or something along those lines. You pick out an outfit and then you work to get towards that. Mm-hmm. It's not just gonna happen because you went to sleep, Lord, and then you wake up with it. No, you have to. It's not gonna fall out the sky. You have to put in work towards anything that it is that you want, but you're never gonna get there if you keep stopping. So I put it in my mind. I was like, I'm not stopping this time when it comes to my business, when it comes to my brand. I'm sticking to it, and like that saying where it's like, but what if I fail? But what if you fly? You'll never know. So I'm like, we doing this. This is real. This is happening. I can't let
some people fly while they fail.
Say what?
Some people fly while they fail.
Exactly. That's what the mindset people, they be like, no, failure is not bad. Failure is a lesson. That's how you can learn and grow and do better. And I'm like, okay, think that way versus just like, if I fail, oh my gosh, the world is going to end. And the world already ended like 3 times over and we're still here. We still got to do something every single day. So just might as well do something going towards what you actually want to do.
Mm-hmm. So along with that, then, what do you feel like are your biggest obstacles in your business?
Wait. Actually, before we go any further, let's talk about that with the community. What do you feel is your biggest obstacle in your small business? That's right, I want to know. So go ahead and text me as well. I'm serious. Go ahead, text me at 510-369-5059. That's 510-369-5059. Text me your answer, and the first 5 customers will get a free white t-shirt custom printed for them. All they have to pay is shipping. That's right, I said it. Come to my website and find out what you can do to help yourself with your business. Maybe you need shirts. Maybe you want hats. Maybe you want something else. Just consult with me and I'll try and make it happen to the best of my ability. And trust me, my customers love the products. So once again, check us out at oaklandsunshine.com. That's the best way to support this podcast, and that's the best way to support your small business as well. Now let's get back to the show.
So definitely the mindset thing, going back to like the fear of success, but also not asking for help. That's been my biggest hindrance. I got a whole business coach last year and was just like, but I'm gonna figure it out for myself. What do you pay him for? Like, that's just, I'm confusion. What is happening here? Like, so I've been that way for I don't know how long, but I'm just the type to where it's like, if I can't, especially, I guess that comes with like a lack mindset too. And I couldn't afford certain things. Like I can't afford the newest camera. Okay, well, I got to figure out how to work with this camera that I got, or find a cheaper version on Amazon or eBay or something like that. So it's always been I'm a figure it out type thing. I'm not going to ask for help. I'm not going to ask for, hey, can you loan me this so I can get this better equipment? I'm going to figure it out. So that's kind of been my mentality for so long that even now when I was like, no, I'm going to get this coach and I'm going to ask for help. And then as soon as I hit a roadblock, go into my little shell and I'm going to just work it out and figure it out on my own. And it's like, no, you can't do this by yourself. There's a reason why you can't go further. Similar with you, you being a trainer, like people can work out by themselves, but it helps to have that person to push you, that person to keep you accountable. All of those things. Coaches are necessary for a reason. And I'm like, that's what you got in this program for, and you're not even using it. What is the point of that? So that me asking for help is definitely my biggest challenge when it comes to being in business. I'm working on that every day. And now it's maybe eventually he may be like, all right, now you talking to me too much. You got to do something by yourself, which I do plenty by myself, but still, yeah, definitely me asking for help, even just with And I know another thing too, sorry, dealing with family, with us being in media, that's like uncharted territory. Our folks got regular jobs. They went to work until however long we're gonna retire, whatever. That's it. That's what they know. Versus media, it's just kind of like it's just uncharted territory for them. So me asking them like, oh, what do you think about this, is kind of like, I don't know what to tell you. And since I got that for so long, I was just like, okay, well, now I have to figure it out. I can't even ask them because they don't know what it is that I'm doing anyway. So that was definitely it for me. What about you?
My biggest obstacle, I think, is probably proper planning. Because along with the training, I'm building a website. So that could become another stream of income. And I'm also doing other gigs, right? So I don't know about how Atlanta is, but in the Bay Area, it's like you could download an app and have a job next week, like, you fill out and then they just go do processing, or the same day most times, and then I could go make, $70-$80 and then go do something I want to do for myself.
Right.
And because I have to do so much gig work to maintain everything, it distracts me, makes me tired, makes me not want to use my mind to go into planning out, okay, I need to do this. So my biggest thing this year was to set up a marketing plan. Well, that was my goal last year. I didn't accomplish that at all. So what I ended up doing though is I watched a lot of videos on it and read as much as I could on it to kind of get a better understanding on really how to make a marketing plan. Because I've done it for other companies, not like created a marketing plan, but follow through with the marketing plan for them,
Right.
And for myself, it became a situation where I started with like, oh, I could just do ads, thinking that's a marketing plan. It's not. You're just making a post and paying for it now.
Right.
And then I went to, oh, I'm gonna do YouTube video, what they call commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's not a marketing plan. You're just making a commercial, and paying for it now. So I saw the results from that and I was like, well, what are people doing? Like, what is marketing? I don't get it, I guess. And I really realized it's sometimes, at least for what I want to do, is going to become a series of content. So it goes beyond just making a post and saying, hey, I provide this, click the link.
Right.
I've got to constantly maintain that conversation over time for people to want to click the link.
Right.
And I didn't know that. So that was my fault. I didn't know how to properly plan for my business, along with the distractions keeping me away from really understanding how to, plan correct. Because I'm like, well, I'm just post this and then I'm going to do my job. Then when I get back, hopefully I'll get like 30, 40 more people who care.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
I was in that same boat as well, so I understand.
So, yeah. So what do you feel? I want to still relate it to this. So you said you have a fear of success. So what do you feel you're doing now to overcome that?
I'm pushing through it. So I had a call with a client. I recently changed what I'm offering in my business. And I didn't even think it was a business because, again, I'm like the figure it out type. So I didn't think people actually basically wanted you to show them how to use social media and how to create content. So I was like, because I'm just like, post, I figured out how to do TikTok. I figured, then Reels came along. And so, whenever a new app comes along, I didn't hop on TikTok as fast because I was like, I got enough social media sites too. But I got on there because my friends kept sending me funny videos and I was like, I should just create an account. And then I was like, this will be funny. I should post this. Or like, I want to redo something. So then that's how I kind of got into TikTok. But it was like, I'm going to figure this out. But I realized everybody wasn't like that. And so I was like, okay, this is my new business model. This is the direction that I'm going in, blah, 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 you know, coming up with the marketing plan and my plan for my business. Cause that was also my thing. I was like, this is my business idea. It's gonna pop.
Right.
Where's the plan? Like, you just gonna put it out there and everybody's gonna be like flocking to it? No, that's not how that works. Like, you need to have some actual goals for you to reach so that way you can get like, what, girl? So in that sense, but yeah, so I had a client and she was interested, and I had a moment like with that fear of success and that anxiety hit, and I was supposed to talk to her, and for a split second, my mind was like, you need to cancel this call. Like, you can't, girl. What if she says yes? Like, what, girl? And I was like, that's what we want. We want her to say yes. Like, if this dream life that we say that we want, and this business and this idea that's in our head for where this business can go, it can't happen unless we start getting clients like her that's going to challenge us, that's going to have us do the work and push ourselves. Me talking to myself, of course. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Cancel this call. Girl, if you don't get on this goddamn phone. And this was like earlier in that morning. I wasn't going to talk to her until like 2:00 in the afternoon. And I got on the call and everything went fine. So it was like, what was the problem? What were we afraid of? Like, you're not, as they say with business, if you're not making any money, you have an expensive hobby. Yeah. I'm tired of having an expensive hobby. So I was like, no, I have to push through this. And that's just been what it is, continuing to challenge myself so that way I can actually grow and become this person. That's another thing too. I decided, like, you're not going to get blessed with whatever it is that you say that you want until you're the type of person that can receive it. So I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm this woman that owns this amazing company, I need to become that woman. So what does her day look like? Still not a morning person, but get up, walk my dog, meditate, pray, do my yoga, have my quality me time, things like that. So I've started implementing those things so that way the person that I believe I would need to be, to the person I believe I am inside and that I would need to be to run this company, I'm doing those things now and showing up for myself so that way when I get to that point, it's like, oh, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. What about you?
Yeah. The same thing, creating those rituals that,
But did you have a fear of success though? Or was yours more so with the anxiety side? What are you doing to overcome
I don't really
that?
believe I've ever had a fear of success. I had a fear of fame because of stand-up. And I didn't do stand-up to become famous. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was like a hand-to-hand thing. Because when I moved to California and started doing comedy at a local club, everybody in that city would know me. So when I went to a Walmart, and I would be with somebody and then a female come around and like, oh my God, and hug me. It was like, oh gosh. Now I got a whole argument at home.
Right.
It's like, I don't like this. And or even just like people who come up to you out the blue and then they're like, oh, do this for me, tell me a joke. And it was like, oh, I'm not on stage right now.
Right. I'm not performing.
Like, I didn't like that. I don't like how people just assume they completely know you. And I'm not by any means a celebrity, but even that little bit for a person who's got anxiety is too much. Mm-hmm. So it was like, now I understand it comes with it, but I've also gotten to a point in my life where I'm doing the things I want to do. So if someone was to approach me, they don't see me as that right now. So I think I found a way to like move forward with what I want to do in a way that when someone does approach me, it's not like, oh, he's this, he does, it's like, no, I'm just a regular guy now. Like, well, why you want to talk to me? Like,
I got you.
I'm not the guy that you expect to make you laugh anymore. Like, I'm just a regular dude.
We'll be like, hey, do a push-up for me.
Yeah, and being a trainer, nobody, is like, I gotta go talk, like, It's awesome. And I think for me, it's more of the public speaking because I enjoy getting in front of a crowd and speaking. So with doing fitness, it allowed me to have that still. I can still make a crowd of people laugh in a gym, you know. But for me, I feel better motivating somebody who didn't feel like they could even do this for an hour. I didn't feel like I could do, you know, a pull-up, and then to watch that person progress and be able to do 1 or 2 pull-ups, like what? You know, for me, that was just like, okay, I like this. You know, that was the kind of, for me, like I saw was the hustle I enjoyed. So I can't say I ever had really a fear of success. I just didn't really know who I wanted to be for a long time. So.
I agree with that. I agree with feeling that because in the similar sense with me, like, oh, I'm going to be a beauty, content, makeup, all of this stuff. And then I realized, like, I do my makeup the same. So it's not really like
yeah, because I think what happens
technique, because I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, I think what happened when I put that title on myself, it stopped me from looking at other things.
Yes.
So like I would have never done a podcast, or I would have never done. I'd be like, no, I gotta go get on stage. No, I do stage. That's all I do. So I'm limiting myself when I say that. It's like, no. This is what I do. I just go on stage, then I come back, and then I might do a skit. I might do that. But I was never even the person who liked doing skits necessarily. Like I really just enjoyed speaking in public. That was it. So I had to find like a different way to kind of do that again.
Right. And I feel you with that because I knew I liked helping people. And I was like, okay, well, I'm and somewhat entertaining them with like the doing what I like to do. So really with the beauty content, I was always like the guinea pig with my friends, to where like a new mascara comes out. Oh, girl, I already bought it. Let me tell you how it was. So that's how that came about. And then when I realized like, oh, people don't just want my help with like talking about products. They want my help with actually how I created the video where I was talking about the products. Not that I was doing something super complicated. So then, like you said, changing that, switching that gear, and then just reading the room, because I just knew, oh, this is the plan. This is what it is. You got to be flexible in business and in life in general. You got to be flexible because you just not too flexible. You're not flimsy in the sense of where the wind blows and you can go either way. You got to know, like you said, know who you are and what it is that you actually want to do. But yeah, definitely reading the room, paying attention, and seeing where your strengths are, and then applying that to go in the direction that you want to go. Because you can still reach what it is that you want to reach. Like you said, you're still entertaining people, and now you're motivating them, and you're getting more out of that versus than just making them laugh for 30 minutes. You know, you're actually getting a transformation out of them. Then, and that, I had a point and I just lost it. But yes, just paying attention to what's going on around you, so that way you can actually achieve a goal. That's super important in business.
Definitely. And so do you ever feel like you're doing, I'll put it like this. So I have a couple streams of income. So like I just said, you know, the fitness training, I do design t-shirts. Well, let me take that back. I customize t-shirts, because when I say design, people come to me and they want me to create a logo. I'm not the Photoshop guy. But if you got a design, I will customize a shirt, a jacket, whatever you want. What else? You know, couple different gigs that I do to keep some income coming. And I love it, because it's like, oh, each week my account fills up again from this, from that. Then I was like, let me do some other stuff. So I created a flyer for like doing car washing, because in my apartment there's plenty of people who needs car washes. I was like, I should be able to do a car wash for a good price, because they're all right here next to me. But I also got to the point where I realized it's like, I have to put a lot of energy into each one of those, and to have to put on a different hat every time becomes exhausting.
Yes.
Do you ever feel like you've gotten into a place like that? with your business?
I guess I foresaw that, and I was like, I don't want to do too much at one time, to where I know just from when I was working a 9 to 5 and then doing YouTube at the same time, and it wasn't physical labor, it was mental labor. So being mentally exhausted at work and then coming home and having to try to be creative, being mentally exhausted at work for 8 hours. Really, we can bump that on to 10 because, the hour break plus driving in traffic and all of that. So I've been away from home for 10 plus hours. Then I got to come home and try to be creative and interact with these people on social media and stuff like that. Like, it was just too much with that. And that's just two things. So I was like, when I'm doing it my way in my business, I want to be strategic about the things that I say yes to, because I know I will say yes, just trying to get myself out there, just trying to, stay in people's faces, stay relevant, stay current, things like that, and then get burnt out. And yeah, that's not good at all. So thankfully this go around, because I foresaw that. Like, the last time it happened was I was doing YouTube, I was working full time, and I was doing a podcast with my friends. And the issue was that I was the only one who knew how to do anything.
All right, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and allowing us to bless your ears with a little conversation about business and health today. I also want to take the time to let you know that you can always visit oaklandsunshine.com to support the podcast. If you're listening this far, hopefully you already knew that and you've already gone over there and maybe bought yourself a t-shirt, or maybe signed up for a fitness class, or maybe even you saw that I provide even more business services to my customers. I even have a little bit of a streaming site going on right now for all of our small business clients. You can actually get to know Blondie a little bit. I have a few videos from her. I have a few videos from Victoria Ashanti of YouTube, and Sugar Rush. That's right, my wife, a great chef and confectionist right here in the Oakland Bay area. So if you want to support the show, once again, if you like the content and you want more each week, well, always visit oaklandsunshine.com for more, and check us out on all of the media platforms all around. Oakland Sunshine, all one word. And let's get back to the show. Thanks for your support.
So
I
produced the podcast. I came up with the topics. I produced the podcast. I got the, streaming audio thing together. Had to actually be the host of the podcast because they just showed up. Like, one of them actually gave me a couple topics, but for the most part, they just showed up. And then had to edit the podcast afterwards. Had to post everything and promote. They would share whatever I posted, but I was like, this too much. So, and then especially with my own stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is more work than what it's worth. Granted, we could have stuck with it, and who knows where we would have been by now, but I was getting burnt out from having to do so much with just this one thing. And it's one thing when it's like, of course, I'm a one-woman band when it comes to YouTube. Okay, that makes sense, but it's mine and I'm getting all the value out of it. When it's somebody else who's there with you, and it's just like, you can't lift a finger, you can't do nothing, you just don't, okay. Then it's like, you know what, I don't have to do this shit, so let me go ahead and we gonna take a break. We're gonna go on hiatus, and we never came back. Because they weren't about to put in the work to learn all the stuff that I was doing. And it happened one time. One of my co-hosts was like, I want to help you out. So we went through, and it took us like almost 3 hours for me to help her teach her how to edit a podcast. And that was just the lesson. She didn't even get through editing the entire episode. And she was like, she didn't offer to edit nothing else after that. So it was like, yeah, y'all ain't about to learn this. I don't want to do this. It's not even that much fun. So no, we just, like I said, that hiatus became permanent when I don't like being burnt out, that feeling. So no, we ain't doing that.
I can understand that for sure. That's actually something else that was on my mind too, is like, your circle gets smaller of people you communicate with, because when you're really focused on doing something like that, it does require you to learn a lot of new things.
Yes.
And a lot of these things you need to learn are things that nobody else needs to use because they work a regular job, right? You know, they don't need to learn how to stream. They don't need to learn how a mic works. They don't need to learn how the camera settings.
Right.
And us, we're like, no, like that's the reason we're doing this, like, because
Right.
it's not gonna look, sound, or come out how we want without that piece. You know? So it's really hard, and that's why I want to do this podcast with you, because I don't have any friends who even want to like run a business.
Mhm.
Like my wife has a business, so I could talk to her about it. But if I go to another cousin or a friend, they're like, "Yeah, man, keep doing it."
That goes back to me asking for help. So it's like, I don't even want to have a conversation because you don't even know what it is that I'm talking about. So,
Yeah.
what is the point of this? It's just like I can't even say a sounding board. It's just I don't want to call it a brick wall, because at some points it becomes helpful in the sense of where it's like, okay, as the average consumer, give me your opinions on this. But when it's actually going into detail, like you said, like just even the struggles of the entrepreneur, because with our parents being older, I don't know about you, but I know for me, it'd be like if I were to come to them with like you were saying, the challenges of having to switch hats and all these different gigs that you have, they wouldn't specifically say this, but the tone that I get from it is kind of like, well, you wouldn't be dealing with all of this if you just went and got one job, 9 to 5. You went to work, you got your 401k, and you sat down somewhere. You wouldn't even be going through all of this right now. That's not their exact words, but that's the sentiment. So I just be like, I'm gonna stop talking to you. So yes, and that was the crazy thing with my podcast. It wasn't like legal advice, but my two friends are attorneys who work for themselves. But even still, being in a different industry, they were tapping me for the media side. They were just like, we're funny and we know the law, so let's talk and like discuss different topics. And sometimes it would go in the legal route, but for the most part, it was just us just talking about pop culture, because that's what we did in the group chat anyway. And yeah, they were just like, we just want to be talent. We just want to show up. And I was like, so ain't nobody gonna learn how to improve? Like and then they would have so much to say at the end to be like, oh, well, why does it sound like this? And they wouldn't get on camera, so I didn't have to worry about the video aspect. But why does it sound like this? Because I told you to get this mic and you didn't. You decided to keep talking through your iPhone.
Yeah.
And this is why it sounds like this. So don't complain to me afterwards when I tried to get the quality up and you didn't want to cooperate. Shut up talking to me. Okay?
Yeah,
that is in your certain industry, or having that person who is willing to like, you know what? I want this to be as good as you want this to be. Okay, so let's work together and get to this common goal, versus just like, I'm just show up and be cute. That's my goal.
Yeah. So what are some of like the specific like tools you've used? Well, no, not even that. What are some of the tools that you have to learn this year in your business? And tell the people about your business. First of all, we didn't even get to that. Tell the people about your business.
Okay, so my business, my company is called the BL Agency. And what we do
Agency?
At the BL Agency, I help entrepreneurs of all kinds create compelling content that will turn their targeted audience into premium, long-lasting clients. So we can go as basic, which I understand to some people it's not basic, but Reels and TikToks are very popular. So we can start off there, just teaching you how to do Reels and TikToks, understanding the app, understanding your analytics and things like that. And with all of this, we're not just posting. We have actually come up with a social media marketing strategy. So that is what the BL Agency is. It is a social media marketing agency. And we come up with a social media marketing strategy. We come up with your marketing campaign for whatever it is with your business that you're trying to promote. And even if your business is you, with me being starting out as a media personality, YouTuber, things like that, I'm selling me to these companies, so that way they'll pick me for brand deals and things like that. But if you have actual product or service, the same applies. When you're trying to sell something, you need to know who you're trying to sell it to, how you're going to sell it, what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and how you're going to sell it to them. That's the basics. So we come up with your strategy, and then, like I said, whether it's, okay, we're going to, I want to do TikToks, I want to do Reels. Teach me, show me how to do that, or actually edit this for me so that way I can have this dope content. We can go there, or if we're trying to go all the way to the top scale to where you want an actual commercial situation or a big marketing campaign in that direction, photo shoot, billboard, whatever it is, we can go from we shooting on your phone to where we're actually having a whole video photo shoot type situation. Those are the levels that we go through with my company.
And how do they get in contact with you?
Yes, you can find me on all of the internet at the BL Agency. On Instagram, it is THE_BL Agency. And on Facebook, the BL Agency. And my personal, all over social media, at Blondie Lockhart. All of my stuff is connected. My website is workwiththeblagency.com. And that just further explains what I got going on and how you can work with me.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, I think.
You had asked about the tools that I need to learn to use.
The new tools, right? So the reason I asked that is because, for the last 6 years, I've been learning how to build a website. So I use WordPress. That's a tool for me. Mm-hmm. Just recently, I built out a piece to my website for streaming, which I have an issue with right now. Well, we won't go into that. Which is hosted by a company called Bamboo Video, right? So that's another tool I have to use. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by tools. Like, what are the new tools that you have to learn in your business?
So for me, what I'm learning is I already know how to create content with my media background and my figure it outness, or just my thing is, if I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna find somebody who does. If I can't figure it out, I'm gonna find somebody who does. So let's say if somebody does want this entire video shoot, that part I can handle. The other side is I'm helping clients with social media. So the tools that I am learning, like the lady, the newest client that I spoke with, she wants, I also help with social media management. Once we get to a certain level, like that's kind of like the point. So I'm gonna help you create all this content. Okay, this is how you're gonna be successful on social media. You need to post this many times a day. You need to do da-da-da-da. Once that gets kind of overwhelming for them, then they're just like, hey, can you handle this for me? You damn Skippy, I get. So this new client, she wants me to post on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Okay, well, I hadn't really been fooling with Facebook. That's not it's just too much family and too much, it's just too much on Facebook. It's too, I don't know. I get it's like, it's supposed to be like what's real, but it's still fake. And, family be all up in your business. I just recently got a message from somebody a family member who just recently started following me and was like, ooh, something about my mama gonna say something about this. And I want to be like, they say when you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Because this is a cousin that's around my mama's age. And I'm about to talk to you like you're not around my mama's age. So I need to, and I can't be like, I'm not gonna use Facebook, but I was just like, this is exactly why I have been on here. I am grown. What are you talking about? Like, my mama know I cuss. I don't cuss. What? I pay all my bills. What you mean? Anyways. But still, so I have to the tools that I need to learn for my business is they keep changing things with social media. And that is also what my clientele is coming to me for. They don't need to keep up with what's the new algorithm for Instagram or what's going to get this person's attention on LinkedIn. How many times a day should I post to Facebook, or, what should I do on YouTube in order to grow my channel? They're coming to me for that. So the tools that I need to learn is all of these social media platforms and the best times, the best ways to utilize them, what's best for each business, because I know what I had in my mind But then let's say if I get a particular client like her, she doesn't like Instagram. Instagram is my thing. That's where I'm like, I know Instagram. I need to brush back up on Facebook. I'm not really that fond of Twitter, but I need to brush up on that. LinkedIn, I just more so just have a presence there. But she wants to focus more on Facebook than Instagram, and I'm the opposite. So like, I need to learn Facebook in the business sense versus, like I said, I got rattled yesterday by that comment from a family member, and I'm like, don't focus on that. You still need to learn this and so that way you can help your clients in this, because you're going to have, everybody's not going to like the same platforms that you like. And it's not my job to be like, I can, at the end of the day, I'm a consultant. I'm not going to tell you what to do. If I'm doing it for you, then we're going to do it how I want to do it, because that's what I've seen proven success in. But if I'm consulting you and I'm telling you this is what you should do, at the end of the day, that's on you. So for her, if that's what she wants to do and she wants to focus on Facebook, and I know there's money on Facebook, I got to learn how to get this money on Facebook then. What I need to learn this social media platform and stay up to date on all of them. And if they come out with a new one, then I got to learn that too, because that's social media. That's how we got to reach the people to get to the money. That's what I got to learn this year.
So I got to learn.
And I love WordPress. Sorry, I just want to throw that out there too. I'm a big fan of WordPress.
You love WordPress?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
I said I love WordPress.
Oh.
It's not, now don't get me wrong, it's not the best. It's
That's
not the
what's
best.
A lot of people don't like it.
I started off as
it's not the worst.
I started off as a blogger. So
GoDaddy or Squarespace.
Hold on. I think we got a delay. I'm gonna be patient.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you. I was asking, have you ever used like GoDaddy or Squarespace?
I did use Squarespace last year, because was it last year or 20? It was 2020. My sister and another cousin and I were all trying to do a business together, and I was like, all the podcasts, Squarespace ads and stuff. So I was like, well, let me give it a shot, and it seemed good, but let me tell you, we lost an Instagram account because of that, because once we decided to shut down the website, because it came with everything. Oh, we're going to give you Google Suite. We're going to give you all your email addresses. We're going to da-da-da. When we shut down that account, they was like, boom, and they took everything. So now we got a whole business Instagram account we can't get into because it's attached to the email address that doesn't exist anymore. And there's no way to get back into it. So it's like, I didn't like that. And there was something else about Squarespace that I didn't like. But with me, I started off as a blogger. So when I was searching for websites, I was like on blogger.com. I think I did like a Yahoo blog.
I remember Blogger. That was Google, right?
I don't even know, but I hated it. I do remember that. But yeah, so WordPress was the best for me as a blogger. And then once I flipped my website to, go in a different direction, then that still worked, and that's just been working for me. But I do like Squarespace, because if you want like everything packaged together, that's a good platform to go with. But I do be like, listen, I'm not the website builder. If you want something real simple and basic, we're going to go to WordPress and we're going to call it a day. If you want something complicated and stuff flying in and you trying to sell stuff, you got to go to somebody else. That's not my forte.
Well, see, I do all of that with WordPress though. I can have stuff flying in. I love WordPress because of that. It's way more versatile than Squarespace.
I thought you were saying you didn't like WordPress and you preferred Squarespace.
Oh, no. WordPress is my favorite. Like I will always use WordPress. So let me tell you why I like WordPress. It's probably the same reason you like WordPress. Plugins.
Yes. Them Facebook ads. I ain't trying to figure out how to listen. It already got the Facebook ad. Boom.
Exactly. And they give you support, and it's pretty quick with it too. Like they're really quick to help you. They'll walk through it with you, even if you don't know the terminology of what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So they've always been super helpful.
And Squarespace didn't even allow me to sell products on my website when they started. I used Squarespace long ago.
Okay.
But they didn't even have an option. It was almost like you can only build portfolios. And I was like, I want a website. Why are you guys promoting that you are a website builder? But no, you really just make portfolios here. So WordPress, because they have, what is it called? I'm going to forget. WooCommerce or something? Yeah, WooCommerce. You just attach that in there. Now you got a whole product page.
Yes, like, okay. Everything. And I love that. When I did that, I didn't sell, I was trying to sell wigs at one point. The creative. And I was working at a beauty supply store. So it was like, I got access to everything. But when I had it up there and I attached it, it wasn't like a, let me sit up here. Cause I used to, again, to figure it out. When I first started with these websites, I was like up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Just, I'm not going to bed until I get this website together. I attached that WooCommerce. I had the product page. I had the cart page. I had the checkout. I had everything, like you said, it was already there. So yes, we like WordPress for the same reason. I think I've been with WordPress for like 8-9 years at this point. Like,
I wish I was with them that long. I used it and then stopped because, you know, like I got to like a spot where I was like, it's too hard to use. You know, I felt like, it's too hard. So then that's when I tried the other services and I was like, they even harder and they don't even offer all the same services. So I'm gonna just go back to WordPress. And then I think around that time, a lot of people on YouTube started making more videos on how to build a WordPress page. And that helped me out a lot.
Where Squarespace is now, it's easy, but at least WordPress allows you to kind of like try it, even though it's like, let's say if it's oaklandsunshine.wordpress.com, but you could still build the whole thing out before. And you can do that on Squarespace, but I think it's only,
you only get like
30 days.
Yeah.
And then after that, they will take the whole thing down, not just put it in the drafts. No, it's gone. You either gonna buy this or you gonna get up off our website.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, then excuse me. But it was simple, like you said, with the widgets and the drag and drop and all of that. It was really easy, and that, like they say in the ads that I hear on the podcast and stuff. Oh, it's drag and drop, and it's what is it? Where it's easy to go from like your computer to your phone to your tablet, whatever. It looks great on all the platforms and stuff like that. That stuff is true, but if you don't hurry up and buy, you're gonna hurry up and get up out of here.
That is very true. I used Squarespace to build my wife's website, and I think I had bought a domain from somewhere else and attached it there, and we had the website, but it wasn't like a lot of traffic going there, so I never ended up purchasing. And then I just lost the domain and everything. I was like, okay, well, guess there's no point in this anymore.
Right. It was like, forget you. We're going with somebody who's gonna pay. Okay.
Because I think I paid for like a domain name, and that's separate from the actual hosting of the website, which I didn't know at the time. I thought a domain name was your website. But no, you have to attach that to something else and then pay for that too. Like, I'm cool. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about some of the tools you need to build an online business, because I started a couple videos on my YouTube channel, not going in detail about those, but more so letting people know, like, hey, if you're trying to start an online business, I've been through it. So let me tell you, these are the best ones I've found out there to use and why I think they're the best. So maybe we should do that as a topic one day.
We should, because I was definitely an aesthetics person, and I was all about